Well, it is June 19th. Happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. The celebration of the end of slavery, something worth celebrating despite what other people might say about this holiday. Fuck, man. It's crazy. It's crazy that it's controversial that June 19th is a nationally celebrated holiday, but I digress. Something else that's happening right now, June 19th, is Kendrick Lamar is performing live right now as I'm speaking. And I got home. Yes, I'm aware this is a review video for Don Toliver, by the way. We're going to get to that. I'm aware. Got home, hopped on the computer real quick while I was eating, waiting for my family to come home. They're still not home yet. And popped on Twitter. What the fuck is everybody talking? Oh, right, the show. Cool. So I popped on. I'm Dante. He's watching and got on just in time to see Kendrick come out of the stage. Red light. I mean, fucking great entrance. Opens up with Euphoria. Great. Looks great. I mean, Kendrick himself looks good. Looks clean, healthy, just hungry. And the song ends with the entire stadium, thousands and thousands of people singing with Kendrick, "We don't want to hear you say no more." Holy fuck, dude. I haven't made like a post-beef video to declare who won. I think Kendrick won. So maybe on June 19th, Kendrick is much like the slaves were freed. Maybe Kendrick is freeing us from Drake. I don't know. That's just a silly, stupid thing to say, but there you go. It's ridiculous. Watching that live show is ridiculous. He looks so good. Everyone's going nuts. Everyone's singing the lyrics with him. Just like, goddamn. Anyway, to the review, the actual point of the video, right? We have an album review for Hardstone Psycho by Don Toliver, an album that I have enjoyed. Now, last night, he released his short film that is tied into the album rollout. It's about 10 minutes long. It's only available on his website, at least as of last night. I don't know if people have already uploaded it to YouTube or whatever, but you can watch it for free on his website. I got the chance to watch it last night, and I'm glad I did, because listening to the album, doing the reaction, he's got this aesthetic, this Hardstone Psycho, this bike rider out in the desert, and it was a cool aesthetic, and I liked it. And initially, with the album, I felt like he didn't quite lean into it enough. Oh, also, before I forget, I guess he's done like a deluxe release. I have not heard. I think there's 4 additional songs with the deluxe. I have not heard those songs. So this is strictly with the original album release review. If you have not seen the short film, if you've enjoyed the album and you've not seen the short film, go watch the short film. There's some narration in there. He takes this theme, this metaphor, perhaps, this concept of Hardstone Psycho, and expands on it, fleshes it out a little bit. And it's great because that little bit of visual, that little bit of storytelling adds if I was going to criticize the album, that would be my one point of criticism, is it feels like just the album itself, even though there's a lot of positives that I will say after this, I personally would have enjoyed a little bit more opening, a little bit more on the lyrical side in terms of a little bit more detail, a little bit more storytelling, a little bit more opening up. But the thing is it's his album, clearly, obviously. But I say that because there are other artists who just lay it all out there. And while I love that, I honestly find that idea, that concept, terrifying. So, everybody gets to make what they want to make, obviously. And in this album, the overall theme that I've pulled from it is it seems to be a story, a concept of shifting from this kind of wild, crazy party life, kind of maybe growing out of that a little bit, and then meeting a person and falling in love, and then having a baby, and starting to just essentially turn your life into a different direction. And I like that thing. It should not be a surprise to any of you. I am a family person, and so I can connect with that concept pretty easily. I'm also old enough to have no interest in the party scene anymore, so I like that arc. It's very natural for me to connect with. In the short film, and I'll probably talk about music at some point. In the short film, I think he also touches on some stuff visually that pushes this idea of the Hardstone psycho and kind of strengthens the metaphor. Because honestly, I didn't really get it. I mean, I kind of got like the light idea, but I wasn't able to dig deeper. And I won't try not to give it away too much, but basically he's building this bike and it's the Hardstone psycho, and it just feels like this metaphor of there's some good narration in there that explains some things, but really it feels like a metaphor for his life in a sense, but more this idea of being this lone rider and being out in the desert and building this machine to go do the thing, to be a soldier for your family, and this little bit about how, sometimes to take care of the people that you love, you have to leave them. And that whole thing just feels like this great metaphor for somebody who, in the reaction on the live stream, somebody mentioned this is his last album under contract. So now maybe he can go off and do his thing. Kali Uchis is an artist as well. Maybe they can do stuff together. I don't know. But the impression I got was, it feels like maybe there's like this emotional loneliness, maybe some artistic loneliness that's been experienced. This is pure speculation on my part, so if I'm way off, I'm way off. This is just kind of what I got from it. But this idea of going out and being a soldier and being this lone rider and building this thing, and being gone and being on your own and doing it to take care of the people that you love and trying to protect them and be there for them. But to be there for them, you got to be gone. That whole idea, Hardstone psycho, it all starts to make a little bit more sense. And so, kind of wrap up my ramblings here, I wish that would have been presented a little bit more lyrically in the album. But it is here. I pulled up the lyrics for the final track, Hardstone National Anthem. And it's a little, it's not like, he doesn't beat you over the head with it. He just kind of lays it out there. Don't let this be the part where you leave. Fashion statement, wear my heart on my sleeve, wear my art on my sleeve. That's only how I feel. You need someone to ride for you. I'm your soldier for real. I need space, orbit slowly around me. Where have you been? Where have you been? It all ties in pretty well, in my opinion. It feels like maybe he's a guy who isn't as good as expressing itself. Maybe he's the guy who is better at going out and doing the work rather than saying how he feels. When you talk about wearing your art on your sleeve, your heart on your sleeve, that's how he feels as an artist. That's how he feels as a partner, now a father. So it's cool. It's cool. Now, in terms of music, the actual album review right now that we're 8 minutes in, I like the music. The one criticism I did see other people mentioning about the album was that, okay, there's a couple good songs and the rest is boring. I don't find it to be boring. I think it's a natural transition that kind of carries the arc of the idea of going from wild and crazy and party to settling down and finding new meaning in life. That's what I get from the music. In terms of the music itself, I love the sound. I love the production. I think 4x4 is my favorite track. But 4x4 has got this great beat switch. Kryptonite's got a really cool beat switch. There's a couple tracks that have great beat switches in them, and I love them. And with this album specifically, just the production, man, it's very, I was going to say like digital electronic, but that sounds super dumb. I mean, even though that's what it is. Basically, it's just got this just beefy, meaty digital feel to it. It's just rich, but it just comes in. Oh, it's fucking great. I love it. 4x4, especially with those woos in there, and then the beat switch at the end. That's my favorite. Tore Up's fucking awesome. Attitude's good. Bandit's good. Glock, I like Glock too. And then it's neat too how it's broken into this 4 songs into 4 sections, and you kind of go through this arc, and it starts to chill out. Backstreets. I was laughing because I thought, oh yeah, Tizo, he went full MAGA on Backstreets. Made ad-libs great again. I was like, oh, that's a good stupid joke. You should throw that in there. I love how Tizo's presence, just shooting off these little ad-libs, it adds this cool little energy to that track, to Backstreet's. Deep in the Water is great. I think that one really solidifies the idea of falling in love, becoming a person who cares about his family, so on. I looked up Don Toliver too, and he's turning 30. Not that that's old, not even close to being old, but when you turn 30 and you've got a kid and you're in a relationship, your interests change. So this album in that context makes a lot of sense to me. And honestly, I like that there's some bangers at the front, and I like that it chills out in the back half. You can kind of listen to whatever you want. In terms of the 4-track structure, the 4 sections and the 4 tracks, I didn't really figure out if that means anything specifically. Yeah, anyway. I like how my brain, my thought process just like fucking completely washed out right there. Really what happened was, in my mind, I thought, Bob, this isn't necessarily a very good album review. And I went, oh yeah, that's probably true. And then I felt really stupid for a couple seconds. Nah, there you go. Such is the life of making YouTube videos where you talk about music. There were 2 songs I'm not into. One is Ice Age. I like how Ice Age sounds. I think it sounds good. I don't know what it's about. I listened to Travis Scott and I listened to his lyrics and I'm like, I don't really understand what the fuck you're talking about when we switch off the Wi-Fi and stuff. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And then the other song I don't like is also with Travis Scott. And this one is because Inside, it's like he uses the triple negative terminology, and my brain just collapses under double negative, triple negative, etc. And so it's like anytime I don't know that I'm outside, I don't know if I should be, because it's structured. Anytime I'm not outside, I don't remember how it goes, because I just skip it because I get so fucking confused. It's a ridiculous reason to not enjoy a song. But basically what happens is when those lyrics roll through, my brain just I just stare, like a frog at a flashlight, basically. And if anybody doesn't know that reference, my wife, her family, they would go frogging, where you shine a light in the frog's face and then you stab them with a big fork to take them home and cook their legs. Yeah, there you go. So hopefully nobody ever stabs me in the face while I'm listening to that song. That would be unfortunate. There you go. A very haphazard, kind of shoddy album review. But overall, my opinion, I like this album. I think it's good. I've enjoyed it. I'll continue to enjoy it. I need to listen to the deluxe tracks. I don't know if those are available on Spotify yet. When I looked yesterday, they were not. It looked like it was part of a deluxe pre-order off of his website. And in terms of Don Toliver, in his future with his family, I hope and wish the best. It'll be interesting to see what he makes after this. It'll be interesting to see what he does, if he goes kind of an independent route or if he signs with a different label, and what kind of music comes from it. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, good shit. I enjoyed it, and we'll call that the end. All right, y'all. Take care. We'll see ya.